Hello, my minions and mooklings. I am Trickster Cat, the alpha monster, and I just found a snake. Well, I didn't find it, my grandma did. So, I'm sitting in my room at my computer when I hear a squeak outside my room. I pause what I'm doing for a second, waiting to see if I get called outside, because that particular squeak is my little sister's noise for a cockroach has been spotted, kill it with fire. So I might as well wait, since I was more or less at a stopping point anyway. My sister comes in, opens the door, and goes, "Hey, so you heard the ruckus downstairs a bit ago?" I say, "I heard a giant mouse squeak outside my door a minute ago." "Well, I heard a bunch of noise downstairs and went to check. You didn't hear that?" I had my headphones in. What was it? It was a snake. What? Grandma found a snake in the bathroom. It turns out that my grandma had been sitting in bed when she heard the shampoo bottles and stuff being knocked around in her bathroom. At first, she thought it was our cat. Mr. Kitty sounds like he sure is making a mess in there. Goes to check, and it's a snake in the bathtub. Now, at this point, you would probably think my 70-something-year-old grandma might evaluate her options and maybe shut the door or call me or my sister. Nope. Her immediate reaction is, "There is a snake. I need something sharp to behead it with and something long to keep it away from me." So apparently she arms herself with a grabber and a kitchen knife, and with my mobility impaired mother as backup, goes off to battle. Now, what you have to realize is that while I genuinely like snakes, and my sister and I are from the crocodile hunter school of they are more scared of you than you are of them, relocate if possible, with Assistant Professor Rubius, roar means I love you, and Dragon Hagrid, my mom and grandma aren't. See, we're from South Carolina, and my grandma's from North Carolina. So what you need to understand is that the kind of snakes you run into around here aren't always just little corn snakes. South Carolina's full of rivers, creeks, and ditches. And my grandma's from up in the mountains with lots of rocky, uneven fields and hills. We're used to dealing with cottonmouths or water moccasins, copperheads, the occasional rattlesnake to mix things up, and the rare and ever elusive coral snake. I'm not saying all or even most of the snakes that you come across around here are venomous, but the sheer number of water snakes you run into over time adds up. And if you live right next to a creek, like I did and do, it ends up feeling like you're walking in the tall grass during Pokemon. Speaking of tall grass, I remember growing up how I wasn't allowed to go into the backyard once the grass got too high because the creek was right behind our back fence. And once the grass got tall enough to provide cover, the chance of a snake being in our yard went from probably to definitely, and we weren't allowed back there anymore because we wouldn't see them and would probably almost step on one and get bit. I know because that almost happened several times. Not necessarily to me, but to many a random person. Fun fact, between that and the whole "don't go into the tall grass" thing from the Jurassic Park sequels, my 7-year-old self had actual legit anxiety playing my friend's Pokemon game that had just come out from the Game Boy Color, to the point where I actually couldn't play it and didn't pick up a Pokemon game again until Sun and Moon came out. My sister started back with Diamond and Pearl. Anyway, so yeah, lots of snakes down here, some really venomous, so while most of the time we just avoid them, we still tend to treat random snake encounters like roaming boss fights. It's fine if they're outside, but not near kids. Sort of like if one of the big daddies from BioShock wandered into your yard. Or worse, your house. So the fact that when my mom and grandma saw a snake in the bathroom, it became a death match, I was mostly just exasperated. A little annoyed, as I would have liked to at least attempt to capture it. I'm sure a quick Google search would have given me the number of somebody who'd come in and safely relocate it. But I was mostly just curious. I mean, what did it look like? How did it get inside? Was it venomous? You know, the usual. So I throw on some sweatpants, go outside, and get a pretty good shock. This thing wasn't little. I mean, sure, I'd seen bigger in the zoo and on the internet, but this thing was in my house, knocking around in my bathtub. It was in a death battle with my grandmother. I'm allowed to be a little shook. So at this point, I decide I want a picture. Think better of it and grab my iPad and record a little video. of me seeing the bathroom for the first time and walking out the front door to see the snake and posted it on my Facebook to scare and amuse my friends and relatives. Because, haha. Originally, I was going to show the recording now, but since then I've realized YouTube may let me slide on blood, but probably not on a big dead snake. And it being beheaded would probably count as gore. And I don't need that in my life at all. So you get the audio only. So apparently my grandma heard a bunch of stuff knocking around in the bathroom. And she's like, oh, Mr. Kitty must be knocking stuff down all the way, whatever. Can't believe it. Guess what? It turned out to be a giant-ass snake, which she had to then pin and kill. Because apparently nobody in this house knows how to call me or my sister. So my 70-something-year-old grandma and my mom, who's got mobility problems, decided they were just going to do this on their own. Because YOLO or something, I guess. So yeah. Apparently she got it by a thing, one of those grabby things, and she walked it all the way outside, dripping blood apparently, because that's fine, all the way through the house, and we're going, and we're going, and we're going, out the front, still going, still going.
You gonna take a picture?
I'm recording this.
Oh, we've got trash bags, yeah.
This was in the bathroom, knocking stuff into the bathtub. We don't know where it came from. We don't know how it got into the bathroom. There are no doors leading outside near that bathroom. There's also no open windows or anything like that either. How did you get into our house?
My bet is someone left the garage door open.
Maybe. I don't think it came out of the toilet, especially since...
Oh, they can.
I said I don't think it did.
That's even worse.
Okay, yeah, the fact that we don't know how long it's been in the bathroom is even worse. Especially since we use that bathroom! This thing is a decent size. Like, look, that's it compared to, like, the trash can. This thing is big. It ain't cute.
It's also bigger than our cat.
It is much bigger than our cat. Our poor kitty might have had to fight it, like, Battle Royale style. What do? Put it on a pike to warn other snakes to stay out of our yard?
Burn it.
That's Harry Potter-ish to me. Like, just a little bit. Like, that's not a bad thing. Okay, whatever. I'm done. I'm ready to exorcise this snake from my life. Deuces, snake, you will not be missed. So, that happened. I wasn't really expecting for my first video where I got to actually properly talk to you guys to be about this. I'd actually been kind of wondering what a good first video would be and like trying to figure out a good like subject, and then this happened. So I guess sometimes you need a little nudge to stop procrastinating. And sometimes you need a swift kick. This is more like that. The second I walked away, she had a parting thing. Say it again.
Bye, Nagini.
Of course. Well, bye, Nagini.